These problems deal with section 2.8.3 on solving applications for best buy and for cost. Let's look at this first example right here. Benny's Office Machines will lease a copier for $120 a month, maintenance contract at a cost of 6 cents per copy. Jackie's Office Machines has the exact same copier for $135 a month with a maintenance contract of 4 cents per copy. How many copies are needed to make the two leases to be equal? The key concept here comes from this statement right here, equal, and how many copies. So we read the problem until we're ready to solve it, and so step 1 is read, which we're done. Because step 2, as soon as you can write equals blank and tell us what this is, in this case it's C, the number of copies. Okay, so our equation is going to have something where two sides are equal. On the left here, we've got Benny's with these two pieces of information. On the right, we've got Jackie's with these two pieces of information. So Jackie's is 0.04 cents per copy plus 135. Benny's is 0.06 per copy plus 120. And we want the two to be equal, and that's why we have the equal sign between them. So step 3 is to write the equation. Step 4 is to solve it. So let's go through how to solve this equation. Step 1 in solving equations is parentheses. There aren't any. Step 2 is combine like terms. Nothing to combine. Step 3 is to use the addition property of equality with the variables. All right, so our variables, we take the smaller one and subtract it from both sides. And step 4, I'm going to do that at the same time, additive property of equality with the constants. So since these are going to be eliminated, we want to eliminate the 120 from the left side, which makes it over on the right side. So we have 0.02 per copy is 135 minus 120 is 15. Divide both sides by 0.02. That's step 5 is the multiplication property of equality. I got to get out my calculator here, forgot to do that. So I have 15 divided by 0.02 is 750 copies, which is what it says here. Now, if I didn't want to do the algebra, I could have entered it on my calculator as an equation, 0.06, and I'm going to use for my variable x because the calculator solves for x automatically, plus 120, and remember to use the alpha equals 0.04 x. Where's my x? Plus 135. That's comes from right here. That's this stuff here. Okay? And I want to solve it, so I press Shift, Solve, and it tells me x is 750. Next one. Charlene can rent from Aches for $40.99 per day, $99 per day, and 50 cents per mile. She can also rent from Beavis for $60.99 per day and 30 cents per mile. To the nearest mile, how many miles does she have to drive in order for the two to be equal? And that's my clue for what my variables are. Step 1, we read the problem until we're ready for step 2, which in this case, what's our blank? Our blank is the number of miles. Step 3 is we write our equation. My left side will be 0.50 per mile plus 40.99. The right side will be 0.30 per mile plus 60.99. Okay. And so I'm ready for step 4, which is solve. So this is right, and step 4 is solve. And my steps for solving, parentheses, combine like terms, use the addition property of equality with the variables. So we're going to subtract 30m from each side, 0.30m. And that means we can also, at the same time, I'm going to, just saves me a step, use the addition property of equality with constants. And so I'm going to subtract 40.99 from each side. And I get 0.20m equals 20. Divide both sides by 0.20. And I get 20 divided by 0.20 is 100 miles. So 100 miles per day will make them equal. Next one. At Mississippi.com. Okay, next one. At Mississippi.com, delivery is $12. Each book costs $8. At dbay.com, you can get free shipping, but each book costs more, $11. To the nearest whole number, how many books would you have to buy in order for Mississippi.com to be a better buy? Okay, so we read the problem until we're ready to step 2. What are we looking for? We're looking for the number of books, and it says better buy, so we want Mississippi.com to be less than dbay. I'm going to show you how that works mathematically. We've got the less than sign here, so let's do the left side is $12 and $8 per book. So 8 times the number of books plus $12. On the right side, we've got $11 per book. Okay, so we are going to subtract. Step 3 was write the equation. Step 4 is solve. And to solve, 1, we do parentheses, 2, we do combine like terms, 3, we do addition property of equality for the variables. We're going to subtract 8 books from each side. And that takes care of this. So we have 12 is less than 3 books. Okay, so it quits its divide both sides by multiplication property of equality. Divide both sides by 3. So it starts being a better buy when you have 4 books. And that's why the answer is 4. So it would be a better buy if you have 5 books or 6 books or 7 books or 8 books, anything over 4. It's at least equal to a better buy. All right. And does that answer make sense? Sure, because 4 books cost $32 plus 12 makes $44. The other way, 4 books cost $44. So well, 44 isn't greater than, as at least it's equal to being a better buy. Maybe I should have said equal to or a better buy. I'll do that. To be equal, equal to or a better buy. All right, next one. Cherry on Top ice cream costs $40 per hour to stay open. The profit per treat is $5. Whoa, that's some expensive treats. Maybe they're all like banana splits or something. I don't know. To the nearest whole number, how many treats would have to be sold per hour in order for it to not lose money? That is, in order for the expenses to equal revenue. So that's one of the important things. And the other one is the number of treats. So we've got step 1, read, until you can do step 2 equals blank, and in this case it's the number of treats. Okay, so we have costs and we have revenue. So our expenses, 40, equals the number of treats times 5. That's step 3 is our equation. Step 4 is solve, and the only step left for solving is divide both sides by 5, and we get the number of treats is 8. So they won't lose money if they sell 8 treats. Last one. Old Coast Guard clothing store wants to determine if it is cost effective to open early on Black Friday. The increased cost in electricity and labor is $35 per hour. The profit per piece of clothing is $1.25. How many pieces of clothing need to be sold per hour in order to not lose money? And remember that we just said that is to have revenue equal expenses. So our step 1 is read until we can do step 2. What is blank? Our number of pieces of clothing. Step 3, our equation. So we have 35, that's our expenses, is a 1.25 pieces of clothing. Divide both sides by 1.25. So we have 35 divided by 1.25 is 28 pieces of clothing. So if we sold 28 pieces of clothing at $1.25, we would have expenses equal revenue, and so we would start to break even at 28 pieces of clothing. That's this assignment. If you need any help, let me know.